Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going to be going over my picks for the top 10 best businesses to own in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024. Now that we're a little bit further into the year, I've had some time to establish what I feel like are the best businesses to own in this game for 2024 and probably likely into 2025. So if you're watching this a year from now, this is probably still going to be the same. This list is basically going to go over the best businesses in terms of what the businesses will do for you. Of course, the number one priority is making money, but if the businesses can also do some extra things that are going to be helpful for you, I will also factor that into where they are placed on this list. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the list. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you're new, trying to hit 300k, and let's go. Starting off with number 10, we have the Math Lab. The Math Lab is of course an MC business, and it functions the exact same way that all of the other MC businesses function. Basically, you provide it with supplies, it will make you product. Likely, it will get rated on the way as well, of course. And then you will have to do an absolutely miserable sale mission to actually get the money at the end. Now, with that being said, I still do feel like these are some of the best businesses in the game. They're just not nearly as good as some of the other businesses in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think that MC businesses have a place in GTA, and you certainly do need to own them in order to make money with some other businesses, and they can definitely be good to own no matter what, as just a means of making money. However, they do come with their little hiccups with the sale missions and stuff like that, as well as the raids and all that garbage. But is pretty good. You can sell this for about $425,000, and for a full sale, you can get about $450,000, which is still a really good amount of money, considering you only have to put in 2 resupplies into it. So definitely still worth owning, just not quite the best anymore. Next up at number 9, we have another MC business, and this is the best MC business of them all, and it is of course Coke. It's the exact same as the Math Lab. You supply it and it manufactures stuff. You're gonna get raided and then you do the miserable sale missions, except this business can make you $525,000 for a full sale, which is pretty nice. It's definitely a good amount of money. It's definitely worth your time to own both of these two MC businesses, as well as the other ones as well. They just didn't make it onto the list because they're just not quite in the top 10, in my opinion at least. They're tedious. They're kind of miserable sometimes, but they are certainly worth owning, and I definitely would not just skip over on them. They still do have a place in GTA Online. Next up at number 8, we have the Hangar. Now, the Hangar has had some insanely good buffs to it over the last few years in GTA Online. It's gone from literally the worst business in the entire game to, well, within the top 10 best, and it's placed at number 8 on this list, as you can see. One of the things they changed was they tripled the value of air freight cargo. They also added Rooster into the Hangar, who can passively source you air freight cargo, and they also allowed you to start doing the Hangar missions. Instead of just purely being based in aircraft, you can actually use ground vehicles now, meaning that this business is a lot less tedious and a lot more fun. Honestly, the air freight cargo business and the Hangar are pretty good to own. It's not the best business still by any means, but it definitely has its place. And on double money and double RP, this is definitely a pretty good one to run. Hell, even on 50% bonus money, the Hangar is certainly still very, very good. And of course, with the Hangar, you can store your aircraft and customize them as well. So the Hangar is definitely worth owning for sure. The business, not super worth doing if you have some of the businesses that are going to be ahead of it on this list, unless it's on double money or 50% bonus money, like I said. But it is still a very good business, and you should definitely look into having it, if not for the business, just for the Hangar itself. Next up at number 7, we have the Auto Shop from the Tuners DLC. This thing comes with quite a few different ways to make money. The unfortunate part of owning the Auto Shop is that you have to deal with the 2 most annoying characters in the entire game, with KDJ and Sasanta. You can definitely get past it. It helps if you play your game on mute, or if you just take your headphones off or turn your TV, whatever you play on, just mute the audio and you'll be fine. Other than that, they're not that bad. But the Auto Shop provides you with a lot of different ways to make money, the best of them being the Auto Shop contracts, which act as sort of mini heists, and they'll pay you anywhere from about $180,000 to about $300,000, depending on the one that you choose. And when these are on double money or sometimes even triple money and RP, they are extremely good to do, and they become very, very much worth it. They usually take about 20 to 30 minutes to do, depending on your skill level. Sometimes, you know, if you're a newer player, you don't have as much armor and as many weapons and stuff like that. It might take you a little closer to 40 minutes, but it definitely is a good way to earn money. And then of course there's also the auto shop customer deliveries, where customers will bring vehicles to your auto shop and get you to customize them to the customer specifications, where you then go and deliver them yourself, or you can hire staff who will then deliver them. And the staff have actually been buffed. They don't crash the cars nearly as much, and you definitely still get the vast majority of the money that you are supposed to if you get the staff to deliver, which is pretty good. Before they were completely broken, but now they're not that bad. And the auto shop also gives you access to the import-export list, where little blue dots will pop up on the map, and these will mark a high value vehicle that you can steal and bring to the docks, and you will get paid for it. So not too bad, honestly, pretty good. And of course, on top of it all, the auto shop is also pretty good because you get 10 slots to park cars, and within the auto shop, regardless of level, every single upgrade is unlocked for vehicles. So if you're a level 1 and you couldn't normally get engine upgrades at Los Santos Customs, if you have an auto shop, you can get every single upgrade in the game regardless of level. So that is something that the auto shop does that is super useful, and that is a huge reason to own it in the first place. Next up at number 6, we have the brand new Chop Shop, narrowly edging out the auto shop. It was very close when I had to pick between these two, but I feel like the Chop Shop is ever so slightly more worth it, and one of the reasons that it is more worth it is yet to be seen in GTA, but we're going to talk about it. So the first thing we have are vehicle heists. Basically, you will do a little heist and you will get a vehicle at the end, which you can take to the docks and sell for a profit. And you are supposed to eventually be able to steal these vehicles and actually keep them for yourself, but this is locked behind a drip feed of the DLC, so we haven't actually been able to do this just yet, but it is slated to happen. So that is pretty cool. So potentially you can get, you know, multi-million-dollar cars for just doing a simple between 30 to 40 minute heist sort of style mission, which is not too bad. That is definitely the best way to make money with this business, at least sort of, because you are limited to only 3 of these per week, which does kind of suck. But that's where the other part of the business comes in, and that is the tow truck and the semi-passive wall safe that it works in conjunction with. Now, basically, you take the tow truck and you'll go and pick up a mission, bring it back to the salvage yard. Whatever vehicle you get will be worth between about $31,000 to $40,000 just for delivering it, and your staff will salvage it and you'll get paid that money about 48 minutes later of real time, or 1 in-game GTA day. Now you can do this twice and you will be able to get about, well, $62,000 to $80,000 just for delivering the cars, and the amount of cars that you've delivered recently to your chop shop will also increase how much money you get deposited into your wall safe every in-game day or every 48 minutes of real time. And that maxes at about $24,000 every in-game day. So it actually outpaces the agency depending on how many vehicles you deliver to be salvaged. So overall, I feel like the chop shop is definitely a very good business, and that passive income in your safe will last quite some time, regardless of if you've actually delivered cars. Obviously, it will get less and less every day, but it still will pay you, you know, something for a couple days without doing any salvaging. So overall, the chop shop, pretty good business in my opinion. And number 5, we have CEO office plus CEO cargo. So you're gonna need to own a CEO office in order to do this, and then you're gonna need to own a cargo warehouse. Now the office allows you to export mixed goods every 48 minutes, and that will pay you $50,000, and it takes about, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes, something like that to do. For 50 grand, not too bad. And then of course you can do CEO cargo, and CEO cargo has been buffed, so you have technicians in each of your up to 5 warehouses that you can own that will passively source you crates, and they'll do this once every 48 minutes. You pay them $7,500, they might come back with 1 crate, 2 crates, or 3 crates, and sometimes a special item on top of it all, which is pretty cool. And you can also source cargo through the CEO office computer, but I recommend against this because they have added some new missions into the game that will be a little bit longer than they should be. They're about half an hour, some of them, to get 3 crates, or just simply 1 crate. However, if you do it through the Terabyte, or I believe the arcade's master control terminal, these missions do not exist, as far as those 2 avenues of actually sourcing the cargo go. So that is definitely where I would recommend sourcing your CEO cargo to bypass the new missions that take way too long if you do want to source a lot of cargo in a relatively short amount of time. So that's it for CEO cargo. It's definitely a really good business. It has been for some years, and on double money or 50% bonus money, this is an insanely good way to make money, honestly guys. So make sure you own a CEO office and a CEO cargo warehouse, at least 1. I would recommend getting 5, and I would recommend getting 5 large warehouses as well. That's it for number 5. Let's go ahead and talk about number 4. At number 4, we have the Acid Lab. Now this business has a pretty tedious setup. You're gonna have to run through the first 6 missions from the Drug Wars DLC, the first dose part of the DLC. Once you complete that, you'll be able to buy an Acid Lab in your Brigade 6x6, and then you can set it up. But then you're going to need to do 10 Dax Fooligan missions to be able to actually get the equipment upgrade, which is going to make it more profitable and make it, well, honestly worth owning. If you don't have the equipment upgrade, it's not that worth it. So you need to get the equipment upgrade by doing 10 Dax Fooligan missions, which is very tedious, and they have a 48-minute cooldown after you complete each one. So it's going to take a while. I know it's a super big pain in the ass, very tedious, but it is actually a really good business because you are guaranteed to be able to sell this business completely solo when it is full, and you can actually upgrade the delivery vehicle, which is always going to be the Manchester Scout delivery bike that comes with the Brigade 6x6. So that is really good. The Acid Lab will pay you about $350,000 for your sales, and if you name your acid product, it will give you an additional 5% on your sale total. Honestly, on 50% bonus money or double money, this business is absolutely insane. It's really, really good. You can also do your sale missions in a public session and make a lot more money, and most people won't ever bother you as well. So that is also a pretty clutch thing with the Acid Lab. And Rockstar loves to make this business 50% bonus money or double money in update weeks. So keep that in mind as well. This business is pretty awesome. The Brigade 6x6 itself is also really awesome to drive around in. It's the second most armored vehicle in the game, so it kind of doubles as a protective vehicle as well. At number 3, we have the Bunker. Now the Bunker offers several different ways to make money, one of which was added more recently. The main function of the Bunker is the gun manufacturing business. It will produce weapons for you every few minutes. If you have the staff and the equipment upgrades, it'll turn a $75,000 resupply into $210,000 worth of product, which you can sell, and it'll take about 2 hours and 20 minutes to do that. And if you sell after your first resupply every time, you'll get a single vehicle guaranteed. Now you can also supply it twice and you will be guaranteed 1 or 2 vehicles, which is very manageable as a solo player as well. And then every 48 minutes you also get access to an ammunition delivery, where you will drive to a random ammunition on the map with a delivery truck and deliver some supplies, and you'll get $50,000 for that. It works very similarly to the CEO office's export mixed goods. So the Bunker is pretty good. You'll also be able to research for rarer upgrades in the game as well through the Bunker, which is useful. That's how you get the missiles for the Oppressor Mark 1, or the heavy armor for the Insurgent, or of course the explosive rounds for the Heavy Sniper Mark 2, as well as many, many other things. So the Bunker is definitely a very good business to own. I would recommend picking up the Farmhouse Bunker if you don't have it already. The Chumash Bunker is a good secondary option, but it is still, I would say, 10-20% worse for the delivery missions than the Farmhouse Bunker. So just keep that in mind. Chumash tards are going to be super mad in the comments, like they always are every time I say that, but Farmhouse Bunker superiority for sure. And the second best business in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024 is the Agency. The Agency is just an awesome business all the way around. You get access to 3 main ways to earn money with this business, with a 4th that is kind of tied into one of the 3. Now the first way is of course doing the contract, which is basically a big heist that pays you $1 million upon completion, and you can do it in about 1 hour to about an hour and a half, largely depending on your skill level as well as how many times you've actually done it. $1 million for an hour or an hour and a half is not too bad. It's pretty much rivaled with KO Perico at this point because of all the nerfs to the KO Perico heist. The Agency also grants you access to doing payphone hits, which have been nerfed, which is unfortunate, but they are still a pretty good way of earning money. You'll go to a payphone, you'll go and do a hit, and you will get money. It's not that bad. And then of course, in my opinion, the best way to earn money with the Agency is through agency security contracts. These will pay you between $30,000 to $70,000 when they're not on bonus money. And for each one that you complete, your daily safe passive income will go up to a maximum of 201 contracts completed, which is equivalent to $20,000 every in-game day, which is not too bad. That's basically half of what the nightclub makes you. Except once you've done the security contracts, you never have to do anything ever again, and you will get 20 grand every single in-game day, no matter what. So for AFKing, this is a super awesome business. And if you stack up all the other things you get with it to make money, it's really, really awesome. Plus, the Agency Vehicle Workshop also allows you to put Imani Tech on your vehicles. And Imani Tech, obviously, as many of you will know, grants you access to the missile lock-on jammer, which means oppressor Mark IIs, jets, helicopters cannot lock onto you with any sort of lock-on missiles, meaning they're going to be a lot more useless when they're trying to take you out. So that's awesome. Overall, the agency, definitely the second best business in the entire game. And of course, at number one, as it has been since it came out, we have the nightclub. The nightclub is the best business in the game. It's insanely good. It did get buffed about 2 years ago with the release of the next generation version of GTA on the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X. And that buff was largely due to the safe, which is in the normal part of the nightclub, not the nightclub basement. It now, instead of making $10,000 every in-game day at max popularity, it makes $50,000 every in-game day at max popularity. They also added popularity random events, which can be triggered every time you enter your nightclub after 48 minutes. And if you go in passive mode, you'll always get the kick out troublemaker event, which is just going to be a blue dot that's going to pop up. You're going to go up to him, kick him out of the club. You're going to get 10 grand for it, and your popularity will go back up to max. I think in total it gives you about 5 ticks on your bar, which is not too bad, and you get 10 grand for it as well. And obviously, having max popularity is equivalent to making $50,000 twice and then $45,000 once, and then you do one of these events and you just rinse and repeat that, and you will make a ton of money. And then of course the nightclub basement comes in, and it makes you passive money similar to how the agency safe works, but it relies on you owning several other businesses in GTA Online, as well as hiring technicians and making sure that you have enough basement upgrades so that you have lots of space. Now, if you do all of these things, it's going to make you a significant amount of money while you're just out doing other stuff in GTA. You can be running any of your other businesses, you can be doing whatever you want, and the nightclub basement is always going to be making you money. You also don't even have to have these other businesses set up to be making money. So if you want to make money using the lab and the Coke lockup, you don't even have to have those businesses active and running. You can just have them and it will start sourcing you extra money in your nightclub basement, which is pretty cool. And then you just do one big sale mission and you will get the total amount of money that the nightclub basement makes. But you will have to give 10% to Tony for offering you the business opportunity, I guess. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks for the top 10 best businesses in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024. Let me know what you thought on my list in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.